Hello, I'm ABX Toycat and welcome back to another video. Usually whenever I put out any form of video on my channel, there's always at least one person that'll say something like, "Oh, Toycat, I disagree with everything you've just said. This isn't the best thing in the game, it's the worst thing in the game." And I figured as the perfect checkmate to that sort of person, today I'm going to be showing you the top 5 worst ideas for houses in Minecraft. So yeah, how you disagree with this, Mr. Commenter. So yeah, please do like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets know you do like it. I want to see more stuff like this on the channel, but let's get straight into it, shall we, with the 5th worst house idea, which has to be, in my opinion, the dirt house. So the dirt house is a house made entirely of dirt, because the thing about dirt is it has no use as a crafting ingredient. You can't use it to craft anything, which means in theory the best way to use it is as a building block. So if you've got a bunch of dirt, might as well make a dirt house. So yeah, here's my take on a dirt house. As you can see, it looks vaguely like a weird bunker of sorts. But yeah, if we just actually head in here, you'll see it's actually kind of nice. The building a dirt house has a bunch of challenges. First of all, because I wanted to go only dirt, pure dirt, none of this, kind of mudding things up. It is just purely dirt. That means my crafting table and my furnace are made out of dirt. That means my chest is made out of dirt, and that also means that my bed is made out of dirt. I mean, they don't actually function as the things they are, but they're great ideas anyway. And also getting lighting in here was quite the challenge. I just have a hole in the roof to do that, because torches aren't dirt, I think you'll find. So that means you have to find ways to put these in your roof. It's a very, very challenging idea, but the thing about a dirt house is, although it sounds terrible, it actually can be done in some reasonably cool ways. I've seen some dirt mansions that maybe go, "Oh, wow, you built that with dirt." So I guess that's why I only make number 5 idea on the list, because although it's terrible, I mean, it's vaguely almost doable sometimes. So yeah, that's idea number 5 right here. That is the dirt house. So idea number 4 here has to be the hippie, we own the land sort of house, and that is, this thing right over here. So the idea behind the hippie living off the land house is that, we don't have walls, we don't own property. Instead, your walls are made entirely out of wheat, or for any crop you like. If you want to grow some, some potatoes, some carrots, or later on some beetroot, that's something you can entirely do. And as you can see, it makes quite nice walls, because you can see over them. The downside is, of course, you have to light everything up, because otherwise, of course, you will be killed by zombies. But if you can, keep this place well lit enough, and it's, actually defended well, this is an almost cool idea. I mean, it's terrible in every way, except for the fact that, it means that you can eat your walls. And if you've ever wanted to have a house that, you can eat the walls off, this is the closest you can get, I'm afraid. And yeah, that's that right there. So that's idea number 4 right here. The hippie living off the land house having wheat for walls, it means you can eat it, and wheat for walls does have some nice alliteration. But yeah, that's why it's idea number 4. It kind of falls past the first hurdle of does it keep you safe? No. Why do I even have a house? So yeah, let's move on to idea number 3 here, which is one that really shows off your talent in Minecraft. It shows off you've killed whatever thing you want to kill. In this case, because the only skull we have is the wither skeleton skull, it's going to be a wither skeleton skull house. But this can be done with any type of skull. And the really cool thing about this house, and honestly, I actually, I was trying to be like, what's the worst block for a house? And this block came up because it's so tricky to place, because you have to break the blocks, then you have to place them on top of a block. You can't place them on top of each other. But if you can make a house of this, which is surprisingly tricky, it's a really cool house, because despite the fact that you can see all these glaring holes in the walls, none of these holes are actually wide enough for anything to get in, or for anything to get out, which means that, I'm standing, do you see me? I'm just standing on this, but not falling through. No matter how, hard you try to fall through, you can't. And that means if you've ever wanted to have a house which is only 50% surface area of the floor is actually floor, then this is the best way to do that. And that's a very bizarre specific thing you want, but I do think it's a pretty cool idea. So yeah, the skull house is 1, a cool way of showing off how many wither skeletons you've killed, but 2, just a very, very bizarre house to be inside. I don't know, there's something really, really weird about looking inside this place, and it's almost a good idea, and that's why it's number 3 here. Obviously, to get this many wither skeleton skulls, you're gonna have to kill about 10 to 11, 10,000 plus skeletons, because each one takes about 40 kills on average, and there's a lot of skulls here, but let's focus on the positives, not the negatives. And to go through those, let's move on to the next house. So the next house is the most genius idea ever, because if you ever, if you're really tired of people who are like, "Oh, I'm gonna raid your house now, so I'm gonna show you who's boss," then this is the perfect house for you, because if someone goes into your house without your pre-approved equipment, what actually happens is, on their way to find your chest to loot it, they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna take all of his punch to bow, let's take that let's take that bow." But before they've done anything about it, they've drowned, because they've forgotten the way out, because it's so hard to see. So the underwater house is the most clever idea ever, really. It totally is, because if you just take one of these helmets and you keep it on you at all times, obviously you hide the chest, because otherwise that's giving them and stuff, it's basically a house that only you can survive in. I mean, you can just sit here in your living room being like, I wonder where we should place the next bed. You can focus on all these decisions, and you can see while you've got a respiration-free helmet on, your bubbles go down so slowly that all you need to do is just every now and then poke up for air, and then boom, Like, just do that once every, I think it's 3 minutes, and you've got yourself air in your house. So, if you ever wanted to have a house that keeps people out, I think making it underwater means people will look inside and they'll be like, so, did you? Okay, I'm just gonna leave. And yeah, if you want a subtle way to tell people they need to leave your house, I think the best way is with a house made entirely out of ice. I can't see anything that could go wrong with this. And yeah, that's that. So, if you want to go to the next level of extreme, I could argue a lava house. But either way, the underwater house is idea number 2 here, because even if you build it above land, even if you build it below water, it's still got the same idea of like, you need this item, and even then it doesn't do too much. But look at the water house. It looks pretty swell, doesn't it? So let's move on to the final idea here. And this idea kind of stems from the idea that whenever you're trying to, make something your house, you kind of have to wall off everything that's not your house, right? So, if you look at this house over here, you can see it's, if you look at it, it's got all these walls, and then there's the door here that kind of signifies where the inside is and where the outside is. But what if I told you that because on the the consoles we actually have limited size worlds, then that means if you made like 1,000 by 1,000 house, then you'd need a lot of walls, right? But if you make a house as big as the world that you're actually on, then technically you just have to wall off the tiny area that's not your house, and you can have the house that lasts the entire map. So this is the best idea in the game, because for a simple wall like this, you can see it just took me about 20 cobblestone walls and 4 bits of wood. We have made the outside, in there is the outside of our house, and everything else is the inside. So as you can see, this whole thing, the whole thing I've been showing off this whole time, is my house. These are just houses inside that house. And yeah, the everywhere house is the best idea for a Minecraft house, because haven't you always wanted to just be like, oh, over here's my house, over there's my house, that's the house inside my house, that house has a house inside that one too. And if you've ever wanted to be like that, this is the perfect house for you. And that's why it's also the worst idea in the game, because it literally doesn't function as a house. You're literally building a house and living outside it. But if you ignore that simple fact, it's pretty swell. So I hope you did all enjoy this video. If you did like it, please do like it and let me know. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them all daily on your homepage. Today's video, a lot of the houses were very questionable, but I'd like to know what your favourite genuine one actually is, because, with every bad idea, there's a little bit of glimmer of good. Is it the weird skull house? Is it the underwater house? Is it the everywhere house? It's not the everywhere house. Or is it the dirt house? I'd love to know in the comments down below. And if you do decide to build one of these, as always, please do tweet me at IBXToyCat, because I find those interesting. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you. Oh, please don't build them. But thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.